Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Union Pine Sports Time. My name is Justin Blackburn, voice of Viking football. As always, here with head coach Matt Quinn. Coach, how we doing this week?
We're doing good, Justin. Thank you for having us.
Yep. So we're going to go ahead and jump into recapping last week's tough matchup against St. Paul's. Your Vikings fell 27-20 against the St. Paul's Bulldogs at home, first home game of the season. And, Coach, what were some takeaways from that game, and how are we using that to prepare for our upcoming matchup this week?
The biggest takeaway is the penalties. It was a sloppy game. We have to do better at eliminating penalties and eliminating negative yardage plays for our offense. There was a lot of penalties called, over 20 called against us, and we have to do a better job of making sure that our kids are more disciplined and playing the game the right way and making sure that we're not committing those penalties.
Yeah, giving up free yardage is never a good thing, huh?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to overcome. It's tough to call plays on 2nd and 15 and 3rd and long. I mean, that's hard. 2nd and 5 is a lot easier to call a play than 2nd and 18. Sure. So we put ourselves in some bad situations, and the coaching staff has taken a lot of blame for that. We are going to be more structured and more disciplined at practice this week, and throughout the first few days of practice we've already done that, and we are preparing them to be more disciplined and to play the game the right way this Thursday night.
Sounds like a good one, Coach. And, overall, it was a tough game to watch. The boys did fight hard. As you mentioned, the penalties, really on both sides. It kind of drug, to me, it felt like it drug the momentum down. It was hard to get something going. There were like 7 and 8 plays in a row that a penalty was called. And so I know, as a coaching staff, like you said, it's hard to call plays, get the guys in a groove. And
it is. And both sides, it was a sloppy game. And you can't take away from St. Paul's. They did a great job. They were tough. They fought through it. They put up points when they needed to. They made stops when they needed to. And to me and the coaching staff and some of our captains have even said that it just looked like they wanted it more. And again, the coaching staff and myself will take blame for that. And I'll never blame the kids when we lose, and I'll give them all the praise when we win. So I'm taking the heat on this one and trying to get them better and mentally prepared for this Thursday night.
Absolutely. And so, as you mentioned, Thursday night, we're going to be talking about that matchup coming up soon. But, Coach, let's go ahead and get into our players of the week. First up, we have our Outback Offensive Player of the Week. And I believe this is going to be Kashmir Van Buren. So, Coach, talk about his performance.
Offensive Player of the Week, sponsored by Outback. Cash did a great job for us. He had 3 catches, 87 yards, and a beautiful touchdown, which you'll see coming right at you. He had a great night. And not only that, but he blocked his tail off on screens and run plays and did everything he could to try to get the team and get the ball moving for us.
Yeah, so as you said, Coach, 3 catches, 87 yards, that 1 for a touchdown. It was right over the hand of the defender. Yeah. Great looking play from up top. So you'll get to see that coming up soon. That's our Outback Offensive Player of the Week, Kashmir Van Buren. Coach, we're going to go into our Texas Roadhouse Defensive Player of the Week, and this looks like Mr. Hayden Tice.
So middle linebacker Hayden Tice. If you watch the play from the end zone view, number 12, he had 3 sacks and 2 forced fumbles. He was doing everything he could to get the ball back, to force turnovers. He was making some great plays there at the Mike position for us, our middle linebacker position. So our Texas Roadhouse Player of the Week is Hayden Tice.
And then, Coach, what we added this year, we've got our special teams. This is going to be sponsored by Timeout. So, Timeout Special Teams Player of the Weeks. This is McKay. So, Coach.
Ethan McKay did a great job for us. He's our punter, and he's also in our jumbo set. Our jumbo set, I technically classify as a special teams for us because we've got offense, defense, everybody on the field that we need to get on the field. But he did a great job punting. Caught some bad snaps and kicked it out of there, and then he also threw a touchdown out of that jumbo set to Mr. David Stem, which you'll see in the highlights as well. Yeah,
it was. So that's your Timeout Special Teams Player of the Week. And so after going that, Coach, we ready to get to some highlights?
Yeah, we'll get some highlights, and then immediately following that, we'll show some of the Player of the Week interviews.
Sounds good, Coach. Let's get to it.
All right, we're here with Ethan McKay, Special Teams Player of the Week. Ethan is a jack of all trades, a utility guy for the Vikings. Ethan, what does it mean to you to be able to do a little bit of everything for this team?
Well, I come out every week and work to be a quarterback mainly, but I'll do whatever I can to help the team.
Ethan plays quarterback, receiver, punter, holder, done a little bit of everything. He's a Special Teams Player of the Week for his punting and holding, and also in our jumbo package, you threw a touchdown there to to David Stem. Tell us about that play and how you got the ball to David.
Well, during practice when we go over that play, I don't have as much time as I did in the game, so it kind of surprised me. Had a good step up and found David wide open on the backside.
Good job. And how do you feel about this next week, and what do the Vikings need to do to improve and make this week better?
I think we need to focus more on playing as a team instead of individually, because we have a lot of individual players, but we've worked through that this week at practice.
Thank you, Ethan. Have a great day. We're here with Kashmir Van Buren, our Offensive Player of the Week. Congratulations, Cash, on a big night. Tell us about your offensive production on Friday night.
Thank you. I think we did good. Rory got the ball to people very well, and I think that we did an excellent job Friday night.
And what do you think we need to do and change for this Thursday night in order to make a different result and get a win?
I think people got to step up and start being a leader, and that we all should put in all the effort that we have.
Good. And last but not least, how do you feel about this Providence Grove team that's coming into Union Pines?
I think that they are a very well team. I think that it's going to be a little more challenging than we had last week.
Good. Thank you, Cash. Congrats.
You're welcome.
All right, so coming back from the highlights, Coach, we're going to go ahead and get into the matchup for this week. We got Thursday night football this week, and it looks like it's going to be against Providence Grove, and they are the Patriots. So go ahead and talk a little bit about this matchup.
It's a weird week for us. It's a short week.
Yeah.
Playing on Thursday night before Labor Day. It's something that's done across the state, so we thought we'd try it out this year and see how we liked it, but we got a short week of practice. We really have to focus on Monday and Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Providence Grove's coming in at 2-0,
yeah.
2 big wins in a row. So they're hungry. They're fired up. They have a really really fast defensive front, not necessarily size-wise, but they put some speed on the defensive front, so we're going to try to figure out how to block those guys. Offensively, they line up in a bunch of different formations that is going to try to confuse our defense. So we're spending a lot of practice time on focusing on how to align to the multiple formations that they're going to line up in on Thursday night. And,
fairly familiar opponent. Providence Grove, I think, has been around for a good while. One of our big out-of-conference matchups. Yeah. We'll have to get Ruben Davis on it to get the stats about how we fared.
They'll be coming out on Twitter, I'm sure.
That's right, for sure. He'll keep it on Twitter and Facebook. But, Providence Grove, like you said, Coach, it's a short week. Kind of what the guys in the NFL have to deal with sometimes coming off of a short week. I know they go Sunday to Thursday, but I think they try to eliminate that. But, preparing for it, got to be different.
When you have a short week, you have to be fully focused at practice because you're losing a day of practice. You're losing a couple of hours of preparation time, so you have to make the most out of what you're getting. And we've tweaked our practice schedule a little bit to try to fit this game plan in this short week, and we've modified some things and made some changes offensively and defensively that we think are going to help us, especially with it being a short week. So I think on Thursday night our team will be fully prepared.
Awesome. Sounds like a great one, Coach. And so that's going to be Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Your Vikings will host the Providence Grove Patriots here at Will Hoyt Stadium. We'd love to see you out. As he mentioned, this is leading into the Labor Day weekend. We do want to remind you before we close this episode of Union Pines Sports Time, we got the Buffalo VIP tent, Buffalo Wild Wings VIP tent. Yep. Don't forget to vote on that. It's all social media sites.
Yeah,
Coach.
It's on Twitter and Facebook. You can go bid on the Buffalo Wild Wing VIP tent. You get 100 wings, 10 tickets,
Can't beat it.
And drinks, and you get an on-the-field seat, which is awesome to view the game from. You're right there where we run out of the tunnel. It's a unique experience that I would encourage everyone to at least try one time. Split it between 2 families, split it between 3 families, and come out and enjoy the game. And all the money that we raise through the Buffalo Wild Wing VIP tent goes directly back to the players to feed them pregame meals and postgame meals.
So not only, are you helping this Viking team out, but a unique experience, as Coach mentioned, is right there behind the goal line, that far side end zone there, or the near side to the field house. Yes. Just a great looking spot.
Yeah.
And so Buffalo Wild Wings VIP tent, go out there on the social media site, and don't forget to vote on it. And also want to mention that this Thursday, when you come out to Will Hoyt Stadium, it will be Grandparent Appreciation Night. And so, Coach, I believe...
Yeah, Grandparent Appreciation Night, all the varsity players will get some grandparents into the game for free. They'll turn in their list to me, and we'll recognize the grandparents of our players, our band members, our cheerleaders at Thursday night's game and thank them for what they do and thank them for helping raise our young men.
That's right. Absolutely, Coach. And so that'll bring us to the conclusion of this episode of UP Sports Time. As always, we'd like to give a shout-out to Timeout Sports Grill for sponsoring us. Awesome.
Yes.
And awesome food and just a great place to be. Yeah. So go check out Timeout Sports Grill if you haven't. As always, we'd like to thank the administrative team here at Union Pines High School. Support us, in every effort that we do. As always, we'd like to thank you, the community, for watching this, coming out and checking out Viking football. And don't forget, this Thursday, 7 o'clock, Will Hoyt Stadium, your Union Pines Vikings will host Providence Grove Patriots.
Yes, and like he said, I want to thank the community, the fans, the parents. We had an awesome home crowd last Friday night. It was packed out.
Absolutely packed.
The band was rowdy. Shout out to the band. Good Morning America, by the way.
Heck yeah,
That's
national
awesome.
shout out.
The cheerleaders were rowdy. It was just a fun atmosphere to play in, and I can personally assure the fans and the parents and the community that your team, your Union Pines team, will be more disciplined, more focused, and more prepared than ever going forward in the rest of this season.
That's right. Sounds like a good one this Thursday, 7 o'clock, Will Hoyt Stadium. Your Vikings take on the Providence Grove Patriots.
Thank you. Go Vikings.
Thank you for watching Union Pine Sports Time.